So good afternoon, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all to our virtual open event. It's a chance for us to showcase our wonderful school. And being Talbot Heath, we embrace a live virtual Zoom format with gusto. We have become real experts in all things remote. So for the next hour, you will hear from me, from staff, and from pupils to give you a real flavour of what makes us stand out as a school. So welcome everyone to Talbot Heath, a school that combines heritage and tradition with dynamism and forward thinking. Choosing a secondary school is an important decision. So what do we offer you and your daughters at Talbot Heath? An education that is broad, that will inspire, light a spark of imagination, and foster an intellectual curiosity that will last a lifetime. Our pupils excel in their public examinations. Once again, our A-level results last year were superb. Our excellent value-added scores demonstrated that our pupils were exceeding their potential across the spectrum of subjects, realizing their university and their career aspirations. But we are not an exam treadmill. I believe that pupils and staff should not be crushed under the relentless burden of target grades or teaching to the test. Here, your daughters will do amazing things. In Year 7, our pupils are taught architecture by AUB lecturers and expert staff in our beautiful new studios. They learn the importance of the fine motor skills to draw and to mould. They then create their architectural building designs using CAD, computer-aided design. And finally, they are able to walk around their buildings using virtual reality. How amazing is that? In Year 8, their interdisciplinary learning sessions immerse them in a world of gunpowder plots. Yes, we really do have an explosives license. They make gunpowder in their science lessons before wandering through the world of ethics, drama, history, and literature, all related to the gunpowder plot. In biology, we present them with beating holographic hearts, augmented reality skulls, and virtual reality 3D compounds. It's mind-blowing. Our pupils here acquire knowledge, but also the skills to embrace the future with excitement and with confidence. They cover a vast breadth of subject areas, giving them insight into the latest developments in the field. They experience awe and wonder in their learning, and that's really important to me as head. Our partnerships with industry and with higher education mean that they have input from experts who work at the cutting edge of their specialisms. And we work with Southampton University, Bournemouth, AUB, Imperial College, Stanford, universities around the globe working with us so that our students are absolutely cutting edge in terms of what they're doing. And our wonderful patrons, they mentor, they enlighten, and they inspire. You'll hear that word inspire over and over again today. At Talbot Heath, pupils learn to problem solve, think for themselves, and embrace a challenge. They recognize that creativity is the fundamental heart of innovation and ideas. Hence the importance that we place on the A in STEAM. Such skills have never been more needed than in a global pandemic. And I have to say, our pupils and our staff were top notch when it came to coping this year. Our extensive digital infrastructure meant that we were able to transition seamlessly into whole school remote learning the moment we went into lockdown this year, with all pupils following their full timetables throughout this period. Our pupils stayed on track with their schemes of work, were pastorally and academically supported, and they returned to a fully reopened school this September, feeling confident and feeling happy. Currently, we offer parallel remote learning for any pupil who has to self-isolate. Staff and pupils are coping amazingly well with the challenges of COVID-19, and our strong and close-knit community with live Zoom assemblies and events going out to hundreds of people each week ensure that we keep up our spirits and we keep our educational provision extremely high, no matter what. In a time of great uncertainty, we offer stability and continuity of education, ensuring that our pupils flourish. TH always rises to a challenge, and this year is no exception. We even had our assistant head, Mr. Craddock, hula hooping in space. Our pupils also have a very strong social conscience, and that's something I'm very proud of as head teacher. They care about others and they develop their self-esteem and civic responsibility. They view themselves as global citizens. They understand that we are interconnected. They are able to work across disciplines and pull their strands of knowledge together. They are interested and they are interesting. They are principled and they are kind. They have aspirations, and our pupils go out into the world as a force for good. We place emphasis on emotional intelligence and resilience, as well as physical and mental well-being. Our holistic curriculum that offers opportunities in sport, music, drama, STEM, the creative and the performing arts, humanities, allows our pupils to develop their confidence, their talents, teamwork, and fortitude. And boy, have we needed fortitude this year. Our outstanding pastoral care system, combined with a very caring ethos founded on our Christian principles, ensures that our pupils feel supported and feel valued. The secret to our success is positivity, our shared values, and our sense of purpose. At Talbot Heath, it is cool to like school. Pupils can be themselves, can develop their individuality, knowing that they will be taught by skilled, passionate, and dedicated staff who will be there every step of the way. When pupils leave Talbot Heath, it is with great affection and fond memories. We lay the foundation for the varied pathways that they choose, knowing that they will have developed the qualities that will sustain them in adversity and ensure that they always think big. Secondary school should be a time of discovery, challenges, experiences, and friendship, a time when lifelong memories are made. Talbot Heath was founded by a formidable yet deeply compassionate woman who was determined to offer her pupils a pioneering, liberal, progressive, first-class education. We stay true to that ethos today with our award-winning, future-focused approach. We cannot wait to show you our school, and I look forward to meeting all of you in the coming weeks and months to find out what you, as prospective pupils and parents, love and what is dear to your heart, because that is what we care about. Now, at this point, you would usually have a tour of the school and have the opportunity to meet with our staff and talk to them about their subjects and what we offer. We've done it differently this year, and we have put together a chat show, a THTV Think Big chat show, hosted by former Talbot Heath pupil Emily Potter, who is the senior writer for the Good Schools Guide. She invited some of our staff onto her sofa in the STEAM Hub. Let's have a watch.
Alex, I wanted to ask you a bit about pastoral care at the school, because again, it's something that Talbot Heath is very well known for in terms of being very nurturing and, you know, looking after the girls' well-being and pastoral care. What sort of, I mean, how is that taught at the school?
Well, we see it as, we care about the whole student. Obviously, academically, we want them to do really well. Learning about string theory and the philosophers is great, but it's only going to get you so far in life if you're not willing to care for yourself and know what the warning signs are about your own mental and physical health. And so we take it quite seriously. Through lessons, we deliver PSHCE to Key Stage 3. It's delivered at Key Stage 4 through external speakers coming in. And there's always a point where a teacher is going to be willing to talk to students about coping mechanisms, strategies, that kind of thing. You also have the tutors who do a great job. They know the girls so well. They're the first port of call. The deputy head, whose door is always open, and she has sofas covered in teddies just for you to cuddle. Staff and students, if you've had a bad day, it's great. And so you know, there is always, yes, the formal lessons, but everything we do is kind of underpinned by this awareness that, you know, being a teenager is hard and growing up is hard, and we're on their team. And we're willing to kind of support them through the difficult stuff that they're going to be facing.
Well, that's great to hear. No, it really is. And Ellie, I also wanted to ask you about remote education. Again, I've heard very good things about Talbot Heath in terms of how it managed during lockdown in sort of actually covering the whole curriculum and the timetable.
Yes, our girls are incredibly lucky. So at the end of March, Mrs. Holloway made the decision to move to remote learning, and we were all given training before the fact. So we were introduced to new apps. Every student has an iPad, which means we know exactly what technological capabilities every student has, and every staff has the same. So we know which apps they can access. We used a whole host of apps. I set up my own YouTube channel, something I'd never done before.
So did I. It was amazing.
Know.
Sensations.
I had 21 subscribers by the end of lockdown. I was very proud of myself. But things like that. So, you know, you had a really interactive, dynamic lesson. So students kept to their same timetable. So they would wake up, and at 9 a.m. they'd have maths, followed by 10 p.m. they'd have 10 p.m. Didn't do that long a day. 10 a.m. they did physics, and so on and so forth. And every lesson their teacher was available. So they were constantly in contact with us. They were able to Zoom us to have face-to-face chats. We were on an app called Google Classroom. So really brilliant support. I checked in with my tutor group all the time. It was like they were in school. Yeah. They had every possibility opened up to them.
And how did the girls respond to it? I mean, what sort of feedback have you had about what they thought of it?
You know, they actually responded incredibly well. I thought, teenagers at home, none of them seemed to be in their pyjamas. They all seemed to be up. No, they were brilliant. They were really interacted well. And even now, when you've got students who are quarantining, we're sending out that remote working, and they're still in contact. You know, oh, miss, could you possibly explain this? And, oh, I'm not 100% sure on question 3 on that one. Could you go through it again? And, you know, they then contribute to each other. So it wasn't just us answering. I was able to kind of see an overview, but actually it was students saying, well, I did this. Here, have a photo of this. And, oh, I've sent you a photo over on AirDrop, and you can have a look on that. And it's brilliant.
And the skills they pick up from that as well, not just in the educational world, but in order to help them kind of manage workloads and get used to time management when you don't have the structure of the bells going off and things like that. I think that's invaluable too for the exams and the revision.
I think their initiative and their independence has just increased tenfold. They've been absolutely brilliant. I'm really seeing that as they've come back, actually. Yeah. They are mature, brilliant students who have lost no time in their education. They have continued exactly on time, whilst being able to gain skills as opposed to lose them.
That's fantastic to hear that. And also, I mean, just finally, I wanted to ask you, I mean, so will you incorporate some of that online learning into, you know, the curriculum?
Absolutely.
Yeah. My Google Classroom is roaring.
Yes, absolutely. Every lesson. I Zoomed a student today, in fact, at home, so that the class could revise, and I could Zoom her because she was at home to say, how are you getting on? Can I go through anything with you? So it seems silly to lose those skills that we've all gained. Yeah, so absolutely incorporate as much as we possibly can.
Andrew, I understand you've taught at Talbot Heath for a number of years. I just wondered if you could tell me what you think the best things about the school are and what it does really well.
The girls are always willing to try and extend their imaginations and things. Teaching here is about creating a kind of climate of confidence so that the girls are prepared to be ambitious and adventurous in everything they do, that they're willing to try out new ideas, they're willing to express their imaginations, their creativity and everything that goes with that. So that, as Leah says towards the end of that play, nothing will come of nothing. And we want something to come of the girls. And the best way towards that is to get them to take chances, to be adventurous, ambitious, and not to see any limits. And that, I hope, is one thing that we do well here, and that's what we try to do as a staff, but certainly and particularly in the English department.
Well, I was just going to add to what Andrew said, that I think something which is so lovely about the girls here is they're all comfortable in their own skin. So I think that however good they feel at something or however much they struggle with something, within all our subjects, something that we all focus on is them all finding a niche and something that they can all excel at. So within my department, within classics, we have 3 different subjects which we teach: Latin, Greek, classical civilization. And there really is something for everyone, whatever your strengths or weaknesses, within any of those subjects. Definitely, yeah.
It's about encouragement. That's how you do it. You let them speak, you give them a chance to express their views, you never close their views down.
Yeah.
And if we establish that from the early years, which we do, then as they get older they become more familiar with that pattern of doing things, and they take more chances.
And it's just what they do, they're just so used to it.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to think so anyway.
They're not fearful about taking chances and going the extra mile, because they know it will be met with positivity and encouragement. They won't be cast down, and I think that's apparent in all of them.
I wondered if I can ask all 3 of you, what do you think the benefits of being at an all-girls school are?
Well, certainly for the girls is the focus from my part, the fact that they don't have anything else to worry about, but just get engrossed in all the lessons. And certainly in languages, I've never heard so much noise coming out of my classroom in a good way, in terms of no inhibitions.
So do you think girls are sort of feel happier to volunteer for things and put their hand up without feeling sort of embarrassed?
Singing, for example, would never happen when there were boys and girls.
From a maths point of view, I think there's a slight tendency to, if you're good at maths, that you can be a bit swotty, whereas actually in our school it's all girls, they all want to do really well, and they actually all love maths, and they all really strive to do their best in maths, and I don't think that would happen in co-ed schools.
And in terms of the benefits of being at an all-girls school, I mean, do the girls talk about that? Do they say they prefer it? I mean, or do they have any views on it?
They are very open about it, and I think for them, the girls that I've taught in PE and sport, they just love that. There's no barrier in the that there perhaps would be in a mixed school. Certainly in terms of sport, that they have that. That there is no barrier to them and what sports they can and can't do. So there is no distraction, and they talk about that a lot, and they love that opportunity that we give them.
They like the fact that there's no pressure. That's what they call it when we talk about it.
I've also been told, and I've actually seen it for myself, that Talbot Heath is incredibly good at developing girls' self-confidence and also getting them to think big, which I know is one of the logos of the school. I mean, is that something that you see as a really crucial part of the school?
Huge, yeah, huge.
They certainly have a voice. They can put forward any ideas they have, and we're very lucky that Mrs. Holloway is very open and will always encourage.
There's definitely that open-mindedness to want to try different sports and break the stereotype as well as to what is expected in terms of sports and what they can be good at and have a go at, and we certainly take that on board in our PE and sport curriculum.
But you have to be sporty to come here. I mean, some parents might wonder if their child isn't so sporty. No. Is there something for everybody?
There is something for everybody, and we've really worked hard on the curriculum with the PE lessons that we have. There is something for everyone. If you look at the field this afternoon, we were doing with lower fives, that's year 10, we were doing golf games, we had some fitness going on, and we had some yoga and Pilates, and they rotate around those options. So it really is not just depth, but we focus on breadth, so there is something for everybody. It's really about that lifelong learning as well, which we want girls to go from here into their adult life, having that love for just keeping healthy and, you know, that well-being is just as important to us.
Whether it is sport or whether it's, you know, they're doing the school play or they're, you know, there's so many, you know, from a maths point of view, we do something called the Maths Challenge. We have incredible success with that. And that's not, you know, that's not extracurricular particularly, but we've had some fantastic results with that. So I think it's kind of it's that love of learning that our girls have, and I think that's where the Think Big ties in really lovely, because things that they think they're not so good at, we just try and make them believe that they can do it, and they really do, don't they? They really do believe that. So even those ones that aren't so good, say at maths, then you know, come on, I believe in you, and then they believe in them, and then we've got success. It's fantastic.
I was also going to ask you quite a difficult question in terms of, I mean, what do the three of you think is the best thing about a Talbot Heath education?
They look after the girls. I think they understand the girls, and it's that ability that staff have to be able to see what it is that that girl has to offer. And I'm speaking not just as a member of staff, but as a parent whose daughter was very average, but the staff brought out the very, very best in her. Really did.
Would you two agree with that? That bringing out the best in
100%.
girls?
I mean, I think because there's so much to offer, we can look at every individual bit of what they bring, and because we're a smaller school, because we've got smaller classes, you can give individual attention, which you couldn't give necessarily in bigger settings. So they have all of those opportunities, and we can go, well, okay, we've seen that you've got potential here, so we'll nurture that a little bit more. We'll see if we can push that a little bit further. And I think all of us see that, you know, every member of staff sees that. It's not just in the arts, it's everywhere. I think, as Mr. Jewell was saying, you know, it's just about finding those things that the children love and being able to bring those things out in what they're doing.
Yes.
And that, I think that's really important.
It does come across that the teachers know the pupils really, really well, and so you can nurture whatever it is that you're wanting to bring out.
It's a safe environment so that girls feel they have freedom and feel confident enough to ask questions, to have inquiring minds and to be confident. And it's a very supportive environment as well. The girls are very supportive of each other within lessons. Yeah. So in our practical subjects, they support, there's no sniggering at people having a go or people doing solos or things like that. They're really supportive of each other, and that creates a lovely nurturing learning environment.
Deborah, I wanted to ask you, we're sitting in the STEAM Hub, so I mean, presumably, I mean, that must be the amazing new STEAM Hub, presumably that's enthused girls in terms of science and maths.
I mean, it's actually incredible. I mean, I don't know about you, but we're all so proud. We're all so proud of this facility. But this isn't just about the STEAM. You know, because it is STEAM. You've got a fantastic drama studio, amazing, science opportunities, virtual learning opportunities. There's kind of anything we can. Some of our cross-curricular days that they've performed here, where we're taking technology across any subject and can just create the most amazing things. So I think it really has enthused. I mean, I think we're all really proud of it, and it does give us a huge edge, I think, as a school.
And I was also going to ask you, Anne, about the sixth form. I'm always very impressed by the variety of things that they go off to do. I mean, can you give sort of 2 or 3 examples of things that they might go and do?
It can go from looking after the forest to marine biology or being a doctor in Lyon in France, So, yes, we have a huge variety. A lot of our pupils go off to, top universities. They achieve their first choices, and then they go on to very exciting things. Yes.
And how would you describe the school's ethos to people who perhaps don't know the school so well?
Stimulating, encouraging, and about education in the true sense. Educare, the Latin verb, it means to lead out.
To lead out. So really, to get the best out of every single pupil, whatever their strengths or weaknesses, you literally can find something that everyone is going to excel at. And I think certainly by the time they get to the end of GCSEs, the end of sixth form, all of them shine in some area.
And I know that Talbot Heath is very well known for its excellent academic results. I mean, how do you achieve such great results?
Fantastic teachers, obviously.
But more or less by encouraging them to express themselves. What the kind of things we've talked about already underpin everything. Obviously, we know our texts and our stuff, in inverted commas, as teachers. But it's about encouraging the girls to think for themselves. I like to do these days, always done Animal Farm and 1984 and Orwell in 1984 writes that orthodoxy is unconsciousness, and I want my girls to be conscious. I want them to think for themselves, to challenge everything, to develop ideas, and if they feel that empowered by that, then that usually leads them to be able to do well in the system, the exam system. That's certainly proven to be the case.
Oh, bravo. Thank you to STARS, our Talbot Heath staff. Great effort. And I think a career on the small screen awaits a number of you there. And a big thank you to Emma for giving up of her time. It was wonderful to have someone who knows so much about schools and education actually here on site interviewing in a socially distanced way. Now, I told you that we do amazing things here and we are unique in what we offer to our pupils. And we are now going live to our design studio, to Mr. Morris. So we've got our roving reporter, Mr. Galvin. Are you there, Mr. Morris, to wow us? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can indeed.
Brilliant. Excellent. Good evening, welcome everybody. This is the design studio. We're really fortunate here with a whole range and a suite of different equipment. We're going to show you some of the great things we've been doing here in Talbot Heath. So we've been developing our computer-aided design, or CAD, curriculum and thinking how we can integrate that into the interdisciplinary curriculum that we have here as well. So I'm going to show you a few things today that we've been working on that the girls hopefully will be soon to do. So one example, in geography, rather than just thinking of it as a two-dimensional text when you look at an image for relief or topography, we have found a way of finding any area in the world, searching for that area. So this is an example of the Grand Canyon. We can then import that into our computer-aided design program, and it will give you an exact scale replica of what the Grand Canyon looks like in relief. So you can really appreciate it from a three-dimensional form, much more than just a photograph. However, that's not it. If we go along to the next section here of the 3D printer, this is our 3D printer, and we can do loads of amazing things on this 3D printer. One example, if I put the light on, this is an exact 3D print of Mount Vesuvius. So we can imagine if the girls were studying volcanoes, they could have Krakatoa, Vesuvius next to each other, and they're able to actually have a look at the relief and study it in detail and really understand the topography of that area. And you can even make out, it's probably difficult on the lens there, but the layer by layer that would make this up. Also on the 3D printer, Year 6 girls have been working on a little project, and this is our lovely head of science, Mr. Kirtland. It starts off as a flat image. Take the photograph, and the 3D printer would build up layer by layer, and then you get a perfect image of somebody's face, which is 3D printed. So it's a great way to learn about that technology. With the topography though, what we also do is we have the ability to look at virtual reality. So Maury Derbycarry here is just demonstrating our virtual reality headset. And this is the Grand Canyon that you saw on my screen. We import that into our specialist computer, and using virtual reality, you can now scale the Grand Canyon, Everest, whichever sort of land relief form you want. And you can understand the terrain in a completely different way. And so if you're standing at the top of the canyon, you must get a bit of sort of vertigo. It's that realistic. Also within our virtual reality, we can look at science. Science is an area we're exploring. This is a 3D print of an animal cell, which the girls would design. And once they've done that, it's also possible to have a look at the screen, and this is what Maury can see through his headset. And you can directly compare an animal cell to a plant cell, thinking about the membrane, the nucleus, and it gives you a completely different appreciation and aspect. So trying to remember something that's quite hard in science is a lot easier when you're able to actually view it. And then if we just turn around to the right a bit, we can see a molecular structure. So if you're doing Key Stage 5, and it's a bit difficult to understand the molecular structure of some elements, it's probably a bit easier now being able to appreciate it from standing within a diamond molecule and understanding the carbon and how that fits together. It gives you a completely different appreciation. And we've also got an architecture project from a Year 7 student, and they did their own self-initiated architecture design. And the idea is you only really get a sense of how to change things and adapt them if you can view them. So viewing them as realistically as possible. You can now go inside buildings, think about the scale, think about maybe you've got to change the doorway, the flow of that room isn't quite right. So it gives you a completely unique aspect in which to change your projects, adapt them, make them even better. And even in Latin and classics, this is a model of a hypercourse. So you can go to a hypercourse system of Roman baths and then really understand the heating system, the flow of the hot air and the cold air. So virtual reality, we think, is something we're going to continue to develop and really get a whole range of exciting new projects done. So that's it from the design department. Back to you, Mrs. Holloway.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. That's fantastic. But you can see how we are transforming education now, and it's really important that it's kinesthetic. Not only are they learning about the new technologies so that they're going to be right at the top of the field when they go out into their careers in terms of digital proficiency, but in terms of their learning and their understanding of concepts. If you can see it in 3D form, augmented reality, print it just brings all the subjects to life in a way that many other schools are just not able to offer. So we are blazing a trail here. Now, during our open day, you would usually have time to wander around our school, see the pupils, chat to them, and get a sense of the feel. What is the school like? Are the pupils happy? What's the day like? How are their environment in terms of their interactions? And you'd be able to breathe in the atmosphere. So what we've attempted to do now is put together a little video montage of daily life at Talbot Heath so that you get that flavour of what makes us special. Let's have a look. Fantastic. Thank you, Lucy, for putting that montage together. You saw drama productions, you saw music, you saw gunpowder being set fire to and detonated. So that's just the sort of day that you might have here as a pupil. Now, we are unique in that we have 4 World War II air raid shelters in the grounds that we use as part of our teaching resource, particularly our history teaching. And I'm now going to go live to Esme and Mrs. Baker in the bunker. Esme, are you there?
Hello, Mrs. Holloway. We are live in the bunker right now. The bunker, as you can see, it's got really, really shallow ceilings and it's really quite packed and dark. But these were actually used during the air raids in the Second World War. So during lessons time, and all the girls and teachers would be huddled in here during the air raids while everything was going on. So it's really cool that we have this as an asset to Talbot Heath. So, interesting fact, there was actually a small bomb that landed in one of the teachers' classrooms during the air raids in World War II. And in the true TH spirit, this is what we like to say, she stomped it out. She got it down, everything was fine. So that just shows how you never give up and you stay with the TH spirit. So if you'd like to follow me down, as you can see, it's quite echoey and loud. And we have the lovely Miss Baker at the end. This is one of our amazing history teachers. And she's standing right there by the bed. So this would actually be used to sleep in, but not only would they have actual beds, they'd be sleeping all the way down if it was going on during night and before it could be safe to come out. The toilets over here are actually authentic, they're from the time, which is lovely. We come down here like sometimes for teaching purposes and just to get a feel of what it was actually like during the air raids. So yeah, it's quite crazy. Back to you in the studio, Mrs. Holloway.
Thank you very much, Esme and Mrs. Baker. So, not many schools can offer you that, their own air raid shelter for live history teaching. Now, part of our open day event usually involves a tour of the school. And I can't tell you how disappointed our pupils were. They love doing that. They absolutely love it. We normally have over 100 pupils desperate to show visitors around the school. So what we have asked is that our head girl and deputy head girl teams, they said, please, Mrs. Holloway, can we show people around? So over to you, team. Here's your moment for the tour.
Hi, I'm Emily and I'm one of the head girls here at Talbot Heath. Hi, I'm Fran and I'm the other head girl.
Hi, my name's Izzy and I'm deputy head girl.
Hi, my name's Lydia and I'm the other deputy head girl. Welcome to the library. This library is open to everyone from junior school and senior school, and you're able to get out books and also study in here in your free periods if you're in sixth form, but of course anytime. So here we have our amazing history department. They do GCSE and A-level. I personally did GCSE. We studied Germany, England, medicine and the Civil War. I found it really enjoyable. The teachers are outstanding and they give so much support, especially when it came close to the exams. They were so supportive and I felt really confident going into my exam. Here we have the RS department, which is an available subject throughout year 7 to year 13, both at GCSE and A-level. They have such a great department, their teachers are so supportive. They are also involved in the sixth form enrichment lessons, and we have great debates about ethical and non-ethical products, which gets the whole sixth form involved, and it's just a great subject. And lastly, along this corridor, we have the economics and business department. Business becomes available at GCSE for a subject for all students, and then at A-level, economics becomes an option. We have such a great economics department, they're so supportive, and they really engage all the students. I personally take economics, and I also took business GCSE, and I find it really, really enjoyable. Sometimes it can be a bit challenging, but the teachers are always there to support you. Talbot Heath is heavily involved in music. We have music available to all years, available from
junior school all the way up to senior school, and we have amazing clubs and amazing facilities. I personally are in senior choir and chamber choir, so I'm able to sing all the time. Obviously with Corona it is quite difficult, but it is working really well on Zoom. We also do a lot of concerts which are taking place all year, so that is very exciting, and the department is so supportive. We also are allowed to take it from GCSE and A-level.
This is the Lily Pond quad, so as part of our school birthday celebrations we'll parade out of the Great Hall into here and singing, where we'll have the sixth form and the heads and teachers up on the balcony, while the students down here will be singing songs together, just parading around the corridors. It's a lovely time of year in May. This is our Great Hall, where we have our assemblies each Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Currently they're overseas, but as soon as COVID is out the way we'll resume them in here. We also hold events in here, so Winter Ball and Linguist Dinner are all held in here, and they're amazing events and anyone can come and join. And as you can see at the minute, it's currently been used as a sixth form dining room at lunch and as a workspace during our free periods. This is the old gym where quite a lot of the pre-prep lessons will be taking place. We have quite a lot of beams, ropes, mats. We do yoga sessions in here as sixth form, and Pilates I think is taking place this year too. So this is the geography department. In geography you explore a range of physical and human geography. As well as this, you are able to go on a lot of school trips that are really good, such as one to Durdledore and Lulworth Cove and the Living Rainforest. There are also a number of international trips, such as Iceland and Japan. This is the English department. It has amazing supportive teachers. It runs all the way through school, so you're able to take it up from GCSE and A-level. GCSE we study an amazing range of poems, but also Shakespeare and postmodern literature. You can also take English for A-level, where this year we're exploring Chaucer, Hamlet and dystopian literature.
So the next department down this corridor is maths. Personally, my favourite department, as I take it for A-level as well as further maths. Again, like English, is offered throughout the whole school, and every year we also do maths challenges which you can be taken at junior, senior, intermediate, and over the last years I've loved competing in them. Next we have the Modern Languages department. So at GCSE you can choose to take German, French or Spanish, and at A-level the same three subjects again. From years 7 to 8, Spanish and French are compulsory, but I've loved learning languages the whole way through school.
This is the Classics and Latin department. You can study Classics and Latin from year 8 onwards. We also do GCSE and A-level. I take A-level and I find it amazing. We study Homer, so that includes the Odyssey and the Iliad, and also Virgil's Aeneid. We also take Latin, which we're able to take as a GCSE and an A-level.
So here we have our psychology department, which is available for sixth form students for an A-level course. There's 3 components of the course which I thoroughly really enjoy as I take A-level, and the psychology teacher here is really good and she supports us so much and I can really fault it.
So this is the lower sixth common room. There's a kitchen, you have the lockers out here, but this is a workspace, so during free periods people can come in here, do like extra work that they've had from subjects or homework or after school. Just a nice little breakout space. In lower 6 you also have enrichment sessions, which would be PSRE sessions, but also self-defense and yoga, which are really brilliant.
So this is the upper sixth common room. We have 2 separate rooms. One we have for studying and the other one more like social. So here we have plenty of computers and desks. This is more known as like the quiet common room if you want to get on with work. We have the more social side of the common room. We have a nice desk, seating area, a kitchen.
So this is the IT room. In the IT room, you can do things such as coding, working with computers and robots. IT is an option for GCSE, however you do it from year 7 to year 9.
This is the science department. There are 6 science labs, including a computer room in the middle, which we class as S7. Science is carried all the way through from year 7 to 6th form. You can choose to do triple science at GCSE, or you can do combined. From year 9 onwards, you can specify into physics, biology and chemistry, and at A-level you can do the same. I take chemistry and physics and I've really enjoyed it.
TH also offers a STEM club from years 7 onwards. Alongside the new STEAM Hub, the future of STEM is forever expanding at TH, and I'm so excited to see what will be coming in the next few years.
So here we have the sports department, which is available from pre-prep all the way up to the end of 6th form. When you start year 11, you start to have options within your PE lessons, such as trampolining, swimming, netball, running, rounders, all that sorts of sports. There's also many after-school clubs such as netball, hockey, swimming, tennis, that are available to all pupils, which was really great. I personally got involved in loads of sports that were offered to me, and I found it really enjoyable, and it was a great environment to be in. Another great aspect of our sports department here at Talbot Heath is the facilities of our gym. Once you get to year 11 and 6th form, the gym is much more usable.
As part of the new STEAM Hub in 2019, we also have this amazing indoor swimming pool. Last year, we also linked up with pool swimming clubs, so they come in and train here in the mornings preschool, and they set up a swimming academy with schools, so pupils from all years can come and join if they want to be a competitive swimmer.
So this is the cafe, which is available to 6th formers at all times during the day, and at break is available to senior pupils. It's a great breakout space for studying for the 6th form, which I personally found really helpful.
Here you can see our fantastic new auditorium. This free-moving space can be split into 3 different function rooms. The bigger space is also installed with an interactive floor and wall. In the past, we've had movable red blood cells, a lava floor and a flower garden. Last year, the drama department showcased The Wizard of Oz as the debut performance of the auditorium, and on an unusual year, we'd be in the midst of creating a new show now.
This is drama. You can take drama from year 7 all the way up to year 13. It's an option at GCSE and A-level. Every year we do a drama play, which last year was Wizard of Oz, which was our first musical.
This is the design room. In the design room there's lots of specialist equipment. The design room is used by all years and can be used for clubs as well as lessons. There are lots of interdisciplinary design days throughout the school. This is the art room. There are 2 different art rooms that can be used. Art can be taken for GCSE and A-level, as well as photography. There's also a textiles room that is open to all students.
Oh, thank you very much to the head girl and the deputy head girl team. Great tour. And I hope you all noticed our very special socially distanced deck chairs at the end, an essential part of Talbot Heath life. Now, our roving reporter, Mr. Galvin, should have run like Annika Rice over to the art studio. And we're going live to Miss Coates, our head of art. Are you there, Miss Coates?
We are here indeed. We are here, yep. So
over to you.
welcome to art. We are we've got lots of bits and pieces going on tonight. We've got loads and loads of different projects that we go through with all of the girls, building on skills and expertise in various ranges, building up right from Key Stage 2, where they're specialists taught, right the way up to Key Stage 5. The girls behind me are all Year 13 working, and just to my left here is a whole array of work which we've set up, ranging all the way from Year 7 work right the way up to A-level work that's been completed. So just to quickly talk you through what the girls here are doing, we've got Lottie, who is just doing a big drawing, building up on her personal investigation. Lottie, if you could just watch out the way ever so slightly, sweetie. As it's all individual work, every student gets to pick what they do. So just to the left is then Evie, who is working on a digital creation on Photoshop. She's doing illustration currently, building into animation. We then move along to T, who is working on a project on interiors and looking at interiors. We then move along to Izzy, who is building up just the final little touches on a painting that she is doing based on a landscape unit. And at the end, Jasmine's understanding of history and her love of literature is very clear within her beautiful painting that she's creating currently, looking at folds and how fabric works. Next door, we've got some Year 11s who are just all doing bits and pieces towards their coursework. So come on through, say hi, ladies. Hi. And then just back through the other way, we have the graphic suite, which I'm going to pass over to Miss Webb for. I'm Miss Webb, if you want to follow me. True one, look at okay, we're just going to head on to the graphic suite. Within here, we have some fantastic facilities. We've got a suite of PCs and also Macs for the girls to use. They're really fortunate that we have, from Key Stage 3 upwards, a full access to the Adobe Creative Suite. They'll be able to use that on their iPads and then also be able to translate that through onto the work onto the computers as well. So they have lots of facilities there to be able to use to enhance their work. Girls from the junior school work in here, some of them create their design technology lessons. And as you come up into Key Stage 3 through the art syllabus, we do different graphics and photography projects and things to extend their learning inbuilt with all the other arts as well. So they have lots of opportunities digitally and with lots of other skills as well. And as we go through, we also have photography. So we've got a bit of our photography studio set up over here as well, so that you can see that they'll be able to enhance all of their work depending on what they want to do. Okay, so we really like to teach one-on-one, especially if they go up into GCSE and into A-level. So they're learning and progressing their skills into the areas that they really choose to look at. So we're really fortunate here to have this facility for us to use. So back to the studio and back to Mrs. Holloway.
Thank you very much, Miss Coates and Miss Webb, and well done, Mr. Galvin, for roving reporter going from studio to studio seamlessly. Now, at this point, I'm going to go over live. Hopefully you are feeling inspired and you would like to consider Talbot Heath for your daughter, or if pupils you're watching, prospective pupils, hopefully you're thinking, yes, mum, dad, granny, can I go to that school? So Mrs. Wills, our head of admissions, is now going to run through the next steps in the admissions process. Are you there, Mrs. Wills?
Hello, Mrs. Holloway. Yes, I'm here. Hope everybody can hear me. Welcome. Some of you I may have already have met over the last year or even 2 years. And for those that I haven't, I look forward to meeting you. So the process basically to apply to the school is, in the first instance, we hope to receive your completed registration form by Monday, the 26th of October. Now, this can be found on the school website under the admissions tab. So you'll have the opportunity on there to complete out your year group of entry, whether you're interested in indicating any scholarships, bursary applications. After I've received all that, the administration process goes into November, when you'll be sent an invitation to sit the entrance exams, along with all the scholarship application forms and a criteria list of what you need to achieve to apply for a scholarship. Now, hopefully by the end of December, well, beginning of December, Friday the 4th of December, we hope to receive any portfolios of evidence for an art scholarship, music, sport and drama. So all the information is gathered in before Christmas, so all the heads of faculty can assess it prior to your daughter coming in to sit the entrance exam in January. The entrance exams will take place on Monday the 11th or Tuesday the 12th of January. So we normally have 2 days, but your daughter will only need to come in on one morning. We have 2 days because generally we're oversubscribed for numbers going into year 7. Once the entrance exams are sat, we have the scholarship assessments which take place at the end of January, and then your portfolios will be returned to you. The actual exams, the format of the exams, we take, the girls will take maths for 1 hour, English for 1 hour, and verbal reasoning. All of them are non-multiple choice, unlike other schools locally that will do multiple choice selection process. So the exams are designed to determine your daughter's potential. It gives them a chance to flare. The maths is based on the national curriculum. Now, there may be things in the maths paper that your daughters haven't seen before, but we're not trying to catch them out. It's just we want to understand how they've been taught in their school. The English paper comprises of a comprehension and a piece of creative writing, again, giving them a chance to express themselves. And the verbal reasoning is non-multiple choice. So you can get examples of that online, I'm sure, but there's no need to prepare. All the girls are doing in their schools at the moment for this term will be preparing them well for the January exams. Any girls that need extra time, I do request an educational psychological report, please, to qualify that they do need the 25% extra time. Now, the scholarships assessments in music, sport, drama, and the academic will take place on Thursday, the 28th and 29th of January. Then we spend the whole of February collating all the results. The awards committee meet, we discuss everything with Mrs. Holloway, all the heads of faculty get together, look at your child's application, her exam results, and her current school report, which I apply for, and all the offers and results will be posted out at the end of February. Now, we cannot receive any of your acceptances until Monday, the 1st of March. So basically, you will have received all offers from other schools and no school should be pressurising you to accept before Monday, the 1st of March. And on that day, we make offers to every girl that's passed the entrance exam. We don't cherry pick. There's no collation of the top 60 places for the 60 places we have available in year 7. Every girl who passes the entrance exam is offered a place. And then we do encourage you to get back to us on that first Monday in March. It's on a first come, first served basis. And 2 years ago, we did fill by 11 o'clock in the morning. So we do encourage you to get back to us by the end of that day if you can. Any girls that are applying for year 9, I've strongly advised them to apply for year 7 this year, because if their year 7 group fills next September, we can't guarantee you a place in year 9 unless we've heard from you by now. So let them go through the year 7 entry process, and then when the offer arrives, you can defer to year 9. And by doing that, we can guarantee you a place in 2 years' time for year 9, because it gives us 2 years to work on staffing, numbers of classes. So the main thing, first of all, please register your daughter on the admissions tab on the website by Monday, the 26th of October. Do call me, email me, any questions, and I will be hosting a Zoom meeting at 6 o'clock after this for anybody who wants to join. Back to you, Mrs. Holloway. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Wills. And as Mrs. Wills said, we are here. We want to see what your daughter has in terms of potential, and prospective pupils, if you're watching, nothing to be frightened of. Come on, show us what you can do. Right, a huge thank you to everyone who has worked so hard pulling this part of our virtual open event together. In particular, well done, Lucy, our video editor, fantastic work. I hope it has inspired you to consider Talbot Heath for your daughter's secondary school. And if you're watching prospective pupils, I hope it has inspired you to come here. We would love you to become part of our community. We're very proud of our school. And we know that the girls here flourish in every sense. If you have any other further questions after today, or just wish to come in and do an external tour of the school, or say hello to me from behind a mask, please get in touch with us. It was wonderful to welcome you all today. Enjoy the rest of the event.